Hey everyone, this is Kelly and I'd like to welcome you back to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel and day 4 of sneak peeks for our Sunkissed Summer Release. Make sure you check out the description box below for all the information on this release and our release party. First is our Star Spangled 3D embossing folder. So if we look at this with that blue paper in there, you can see those beautiful 3D stars. Now one side of this embossing folder is going to have the raised stars and the other the valley. So you're going to get a really cool star impression. If I pull my embossed paper out, you can see all the stars in the background. Now all of our embossing folders now are 5 by 7, so perfect for all of our A2 plus our A7 size card makers. Next is our 50 states seals. So there is a seal stamp for all 50 states. Now, I know that you're not going to be able to see your state up super close in this video, so make sure you check out the website for each individual photo and look for your state. But these are so adorable to add to your postcards, to the back of your envelopes, to your junk journals, everything like that, the scrapbook pages. There is a seal for all 50 states, as I mentioned. Now, some of them have little landmarks and things like that having to do with that state. They're just so cute. Some of them have the state motto, some have animals, some have a city skyline, a countryside, rolling hills, farms, mountains, and so on. Now, the 50 state seals will be sold individually, so you can pick them up one by one, or you can purchase all 50 plus the dies in a bundle. Now, let's take a close-up look at one of the state seals. This just happens to be the seal of the Honeybee Stamps home state in Oregon, but I wanted to give you a close-up look so you can see the Oregon coast there, the hillsides, the clouds in the background. And now let's take a close-up look at the dies. There are 3 dies in this coordinating die set. There are 2 more plain circles in different sizes, and then there is a scalloped circle, and there's different ways that you can use this. So you can use the scallop and the larger circle, you can layer those together. You can layer the 2 smooth circles together for a layered seal. So if I hold the larger circle up over my home state, South Carolina here, you can see we're going to have a larger edge. There's going to be a little more white around the edge. The smaller circle will cut very close to the stamped line. And then of course the scalloped edge die is going to cut a little closer, plus it's going to give you that fun edge. Now let's take a look at a card that I created during one of our live streams, and I used all 3 of those dies and paired that with several of the state seal stamps. So you can see on South Carolina where I have layered that larger smooth circle along with the scalloped die, and then I have cut the ones in between. So Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana are all cut with the smaller circle, and then I paired up or layered the 2 dies together for Texas as well. Next is our Land of the Free red rubber background stamp. Now this is beautiful when it is stamped. You can see there to the right all of those amazing kind of Americana images. We have a flag, a Liberty Bell, a lot of the sayings and mottos and things like that for our country. Yankee Doodle Dandy, Land of the Free, freedom, honor, bravery, all those types of things. And of course, with this being red rubber, it's going to stamp absolutely beautifully. Now, carrying on with our Americana theme, we have the Big Pickup add-on Americana. So this is going to coordinate with our original Big Pickup stamp and die set, and this is to make a total red, white, and blue Americana Big Pickup. You can see we have the flag, there are fireworks, there are balloons and buntings, and even a little kite. I love that. And this is all to decorate your Big Pickup. So let's take a look at the original Big Pickup die, and it coordinates with the stamps as well. But this is the tailgate of our Big Pickup. So you may have picked up in the past, like our Big Pickup Fall add-on. Well, now you can decorate your Big Pickup for everything red, white, and blue and Americana. Here's a graphic of just ways that you can layer these stamps and dies to deck out your pickup in red, white, and blue. Now, another fun celebration die set is the Lovely Layers of Buntings. Now, I think this would be super fun not only for 4th of July and holidays like that, but Cinco de Mayo, birthday parties, all kinds of things that I can think of that we just need to change the color up on our cardstock or the ink that we're using to brush on these cute little buntings. But you can see the dies will cut out the shapes of the bunting. There's also a lot of great details in this die set, so it's going to press all that wonderful detail into your paper. Now here's a look at the Lovely Layers Buntings Layering Guide. It's going to give you lots of examples of ways that you can mix and match these dies to create different buntings and pennants for different celebrations. This is our Lovely Layers Front Porch Summer add-on die set. Now, this is an add-on to the original Front Porch set, as you can see here, and this die set is going to create the perfect celebration front porch. Everything from a waving flag to buntings that you can put across your front porch. There are flags, there are little ribbons and things with stars, there's a big bow, there's also these little fishtail pennants that you can pick and choose what you'd like to hang across your porch. This is another great die set that would be great for all different types of occasions, whether it's for a birthday party or Cinco de Mayo or something like that. All you have to do is change up the colors of your cardstock or the ink that you're using to brush on your white cardstock. Now, there is a layering guide that goes with this Lovely Layers Summer Front Porch add-on. It gives you different examples. It shows the new front door shape. There's also a new mailbox. And this graphic shows you different ways that you can put your front porch together depending on what you are celebrating. Now this is the Lovely Layers Eagle die set. You can see the layering die set off to the left, and this creates a beautiful layered eagle. So your eagle has its talons out, and you can have your eagle hold the olive branch, so you can make it more Americana. Or for the sportsman or maybe fisherman in your family, there's also a fish. So really cool with changing up the ways that you use your eagle. I'm going to use this at the end of the video on a card, so I hope you'll stick around for that. Now there is a layering guide that goes along with the Lovely Layers Eagle. It gives you color suggestions if you want your eagle to look like a bald eagle. And there's also the guide that shows you how to put together the fish and layer all the beautiful pieces of that eagle together. Next is the Let Freedom Ring red rubber stamp set and coordinating dies. Now, when these stamps come to you, they're going to come all joined together like this, but they're super easy to pop out each design. So I'm going to pull out the Liberty Bell and you can get a look at that highly detailed red rubber stamp. There's also an eagle. There is the Statue of Liberty with a flag behind her. And then there is an American flag as well. Now, after I get all 4 pieces of this pulled out, what's left over, or the other piece in my left hand, you can discard that. That is just trash after all of that is pulled out. So I can throw that away and use these beautiful red rubber stamps. Now, as I mentioned before, they are so detailed and they're going to give a beautiful impression. There is a coordinating die set that's going to cut out all 4 of those really cool Americana vintage images. Now this is the Because of the Brave sentiment set. This is an amazing sentiment set not only for 4th of July, but also as a thank you to our service members and veterans. We have landed the free because of the brave, celebrate our heroes, sweet land of liberty, let freedom ring, God bless America, land that I love. In honor of our veterans, these things we do that others may live, stars and stripes forever, thank you for your service, and several more. Now there is a coordinating die set that's going to cut out every one of these because of the brave sentiments. Here's a card where Irene used the Let Freedom Ring red rubber stamp set along with the Because of the Brave sentiment set. Now the pretty red, white, and blue paper used on Irene's card is from this Americana paper pad. All of our paper pads now are 6 inches by 8.5 inches, so they're perfect size for both A2 and A7 card makers. So we've got some great backgrounds, we've got red, white, and blue florals, we have rustic wood that looks like it has been rubbed off. You can see that red paint has been rubbed off over time. There's red, white, and blue stripes. There's some amazing florals. I love this in the daisies. And as I mentioned before, great for both sizes of card makers because there are 24 sheets in each paper pad and there are 2 of each design. So we have stars. I love this, the floral paired with the stripes. I love the rustic stars there to the left. There is the red, white, and blue paper that Irene used on her card. There's a blue shaded wood, more stars and stripes. We have blue watercolor, great for backgrounds. We have this one to the right that looks like it has been stamped over and over again. We have a whitewashed wood. We have a really fun red, white, and blue floral design, a really rustic dark wood. We have one that almost looks like fireworks. And this one on the left looks like a red, white, and blue textured fabric. We have the Constitution that you can cut down in half. There's also a great texture on the back side of that. Now here is another beautiful card by Irene. Look, she just used that daisy paper and added a great sentiment to that. It's perfect. Now next we have our coordinating pearls and gem stickers. So first we have our pearls, and this is the Old Glory adhesive pearl set. You can see the beautiful shades and colors in this pack of 210 adhesive pearls. And then we also have the Americana gem stickers. Now these are the faceted gems, so they look like little gems or little jewels. Again, they have the adhesive on the back, and there are 210 in each package. And again, here is a close-up of that amazing pack of little adhesive gems. Next is our Americana heavy duty crepe paper. Now this is fun to die cut. I can see myself die cutting the Lovely Layers Buntings, even the Bald Eagle. I even ink blend over my crepe paper and have no issues ink blending directly onto the crepe paper. It's a perfect addition to your crafty supplies. This is our Americana wax melt collection. You can see the beautiful colors. It's going to match that Americana paper pad perfectly. So let's take a close-up look here as I pour these out into my hand. We've got a true red and kind of a shimmery burgundy red. There is gray and blue, white, and we have a couple of new wax stampers to go along with these really pretty Americana wax melts. There is the 3D star that I have pressed into that shimmery kind of burgundy wax. Here is a look at that pretty 3D star up close. And we also have the Eagle wax stamper. Here I have pressed that stamper into blue wax and then colored over the eagle with a gold pen. Here's a look at that really pretty 3D eagle up close. Okay, it is that time to create a card with several of today's items. I'm using the Let Freedom Ring red rubber, the Land of the Free red rubber background, the eagle, layering eagle, the lovely layers, and of course the Because of the Brave sentiment set. So I did this as a test. So I had ink blended my lovely layers eagle with browns and whites to make him look like a bald eagle. And I thought, I wonder if I can ink him up with watermark ink, pour gold embossing powder over him, and make him look like almost a pin or a patch or something like that on a military uniform. And wouldn't you know, he turned out beautifully. I love how even when pouring embossing powder over him and heat setting him, all of his details stayed in his feathers and in his feet, and he's gold and shimmery, and he's perfect. He looks like the top of a flagpole or something like that, but I just love the way he turned out, and so I kept him for this card. Next, I'm going to stamp that beautiful Land of the Free red rubber background onto craft cardstock, and I am going to stamp this in a blue ink. I believe this is chipped sapphire. Let's take a look here. Yep, chipped sapphire ink is the perfect like deep blue for this background, and you're going to be able to see all these wonderful details and all of the fonts and wording and little sayings and things pop out as I stamp this down. Now, because it is a large detailed stamp, I'm able to add a lot of pressure to the lid of my Misty. I am going to hit this a couple of times, just make sure it's inked well all over and I get a really great stamped impression with that Distress Oxide ink. I love this second impression. It deepened up that blue ink and now it is the perfect background for my card. And I am just in love with that eagle over the top. Next, I'm going to do two different stampings of the Let Freedom Ring, the Lady Liberty, and then the flag. One I'm going to stamp in a red and the other just in black because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to use for today's card. Now, after stamping those beautiful detailed images, I do like to take my heat tool and I can set and dry that ink. I did the same thing on the Land of the Free background just to make sure that I'm all good to go and I don't smear that pretty blue ink. And the next thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment. So I chose the Thank You for Your Service from the Because of the Brave sentiment set. I can heat set that as well and then die cut those with the coordinating dies. Now I have chosen the red, white, and blue stripe out of the Americana paper pad and I'm using gathered twigs to distress around the edges. I'm then going to add our Land of the Free background, but before I do that, I am going to distress the heck out of the edges of this background of paper. So I took my really sharp scissors and I am scraping along each of the four sides and just careful not to rip it. I just want to distress it and kind of curl it up and kind of separate the fibers of the paper. When I got that the way that I wanted it, again, I took the Gathered Twigs ink and added that to all of those edges. And then I'm simply going to take my fingers and kind of rumple it up, crumple each little piece and curl it and really make those edges distress. And this looks really cool on the finished card. Now, after I'm finished with that, I'm going to clean up my mess and we're going to start putting this card together. Before adhering my layers, I wanted to add a little bit of dyed seam binding. So I added a blue that coordinates with the blue ink right around the bottom half of the card. And then I'm simply going to just tie a red and white like double bow to one side. And then I can start adding my stamped and die cut images. Now, because I have my ribbon and that tape down on the back of there, sometimes I find it easier to add a little bit of dimension or foam tape to the back of that. It's going to make it easier to adhere that to the bottom layer of paper. That way I don't have to let the liquid adhesive dry or worry about different levels of the ribbon and the paper on the backside. Next, I can take a little bit of adhesive tape and tape down my Let Freedom Ring American flag. I'm going to tuck it in right there next to my red, white, and blue ribbon. And then I can add my pretty gold eagle. I'm going to use some of our adhesive foam dots that have the handy little tabs. I can pop him up over the top of that American flag. I'm going to add my little sentiment, thank you for your service. Now for this, because it was stamped on white paper, I did add just a touch of that Gathered Twigs ink just to distress it and tone down that stark white paper just a little bit. I added that with just a little foam tape, and I'm going to finish it off with some of the Old Glory adhesive pearls. I chose the gold, so it's going to tie in with the eagle perfectly. Now here's an up-close look at that finished card. I am in love with the Lovely Layers Eagle and of course all of the red rubber stamps and of course the thank you for your service sentiment from Because of the Brave. I hope you've enjoyed all the products from the Sunkissed Summer Release. Make sure you check out the description box below for the information on our release party and our upcoming release. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.